Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome back to my channel. I am Kelly Hyde, a freelance makeup artist and a Saint Beauty artist. Today's video, we are going to talk about how to color correct redness, melasma, and sunspots on our skin with a color corrector and how it's kind of different from concealer. So I've already done half of my face. As you can see, this half has redness and some distractions. And this side is the finished product. I'm going to warn you, I do have a sick child home today and he is coughing and I cannot mute him out because he can be heard throughout the whole house. So my apologies. We're gonna start with color correcting like a larger area. So for me, you can see I have this kind of redness here and a little bit of melasma, a few spots. So I need to have coverage for a larger area, especially here on my chin. Always just an irritating part for me, but I need coverage there. Some people need the coverage under the eye. Mine is not so bad. I do need a little bit, but not too much. And then there is some of you who just need like kind of spot treatment coverage. So we'll get into that. But right now we're gonna talk about getting color correcting for a larger area. So you're going to use your color correcting shade. If you are matched by me, that will be like listed and labeled as your color corrector. And for me, the shade is Mango. It will be the warmest color in your collection of highlights, which is really just foundations. I'm gonna use Mango, my not so pretty Mango. And I'm using the blush and bronzer brush today. And I'm gonna take the shorter side because it's more dense. And I'm gonna just tap it in there. And I am going to buff it into the skin. So I'm gonna kind of do it in all of those areas that I really need the coverage. So my nose, here, a little bit, I have some like funkiness out here. So I need it a little bit there and here on my chin. I'm just doing half my face so I can show you guys. I'm also going to take it, because I'm just slightly a little bit pinker up in here, I'm going to kind of lightly apply it in that area as well. I do have a full video on covering your under eye circles. As you can see, I don't have very dark circles, but I'm giving you the tips and tricks as if I did. So again, I'm gonna take Mango. I'm going to take my blend brush and tap in with the very small side because I'm just using covering a small area. And I am just kind of sweeping it there. And a little bit right out here, I get red. So I'm just lightly sweeping that. So you can already tell the difference between the two sides of my face. I probably would take this one spot right here. Okay, so that's how we're going to kind of neutralize those distracting colors in our face. This is how you would do a blotch of redness. If you had like a kind of streak of melasma tends to come in clusters, you would address it in that way too. If you were, however, just trying to cover one spot, let me find a smaller brush. You're going to want to take, so let's say your skin is very clear, but you have one age spot that like bothers you, or maybe a couple, but they're not really close together. They're not in a cluster. You just need that one addressed. You're going to take your color correcting shade and a very small brush. Let me show you that brush. And that's probably even too much. And you're going to, I'll just do it right here. Tap it in like that, and you can kind of press it like that, okay? And don't panic that this color does not match your overall skin tone. It's going to be a little bit warmer, and that is fine. What we were taught a long time ago is to take these very light concealers and cover this. Well, first of all, to get the coverage we needed way too much product. We learned later that if we used a darker and warmer tone, it would really counterbalance these other shades of distraction in our face. And we could also use a lot less product in doing so. And that's how we keep our makeup looking as natural as we possibly can. So we would use these concealers, we would use too much product, and then a lot of times throughout the day, these tones, the redness or the darkness from your age spots and melasma or dark circles under your eyes would start to creep through. That is because those colors really needed to not be concealed, they needed to be corrected. And that is what we're doing with the warmer shade of our collection. You can go in and do your contouring. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my bronzer and just warm up the skin where I want the warmth. Now I'm gonna go in with my main shade, what you would really consider as your, in traditional makeup terms, foundation shade. We call it your main shade. And for me, I self-tan this weekend, so I can't decide where I'm at, but I'm gonna do a mix of my light and my self-tanning shade. And we're going to, at this point, kind of push over our color corrector. We don't want to blend it away because we're going to blend away and lose that coverage that we just worked so hard to get. So we're just going to kind of push this over it. And look at that. Look how beautiful that coverage is. We don't have any blush on or anything, but it is just smooth. And I don't have, the beautiful thing is, you guys, I do not have a lot of product on my skin. So for us ladies who are not 20 anymore and who are considered more midlife or mature, that's why Saint is so wonderful, because you can get a really good amount of coverage without, excuse me, without having to have a lot of heavy product that's gonna sit and settle in the texture and the fine lines on our skin. So I just wanna show you that again. See my redness over here, even up around here. See how it looks there? And if you have oilier skin, or you're really worried about the everything lasting, you can take vanilla dust, which I have right here. Mine's broke because I dropped my palette. And you can just kind of set the areas that you're concerned about, especially if you're covering like some acne, because that acne has oils in it and stuff. I always say to kind of set it with a little bit of powder, not a lot. I literally dabbed in here once, it's loose, and just kind of press into those things that you want the coverage. But really we want to use the least amount of powder as possible, because that is what gives Saint that natural luminous kind of look. So try to stay away from the powder as much as possible. But again, if you really are covering something that's kind of tricky, like acne or a really kind of more dramatic sunspot, then go ahead and tap a little powder on top of that to get it set.